Hello students, in this video we will talk about decimal numbers. We have seen a lot of things about rational and irrational numbers till the previous video. Whole lot of numbers which are rational, sum of two rational numbers, sum of one rational and one irrational numbers, product of two rational numbers and combination of rational and irrational numbers. We have seen all those kinds of questions in the previous class. We have learned that rational plus all rational plus rational, any operation on two rational numbers, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication or division, always results in rational number. When there is one rational and one irrational, after any basic operations, all of any of these basic operations, the result is always irrational. However, if there are some operations to be done on two irrational numbers, then the answer can be rational or irrational. Any of these. We know all these things. Nothing new about it. Okay. So now we have said that irrational numbers cannot be expressed in the form p upon q. They cannot be expressed in the form of fraction like square root 2, isn't it? So can it be expressed in a decimal number? Square root 2. Can this be expressed in a decimal number? Ever thought about this? Do you know square root 2 is equal to 1.414 and something else follows? Do you know that? And do you know that this 1.414 is not the exact value of square root 2? It is approximately 1.414. Do you know that? If you say square root 2 is equal to 1.414, exactly 1.414, in that case what can you do? You can say it to be equal to 1414 divided by 1000, and this is the form of p by q, isn't it? हो सकता है ना ऐसा? There is something wrong in this statement. So in this video we'll try to see what is wrong in this statement. We'll figure it out. Okay. So before we get into this, I want to play a game with you. You have to write a decimal number with as many digits after the decimal point as possible. Let's say I write a number 1.2. So there is one digit after decimal. How many digits can you write? 1.20. This makes it 20, two digits. But both the numbers are the same. Both the numbers are the same. So if you write 1.212, this makes it 3 digits. So how long can you write a decimal number? How many digits after the decimal place can you write? Try to write it in the comment section of the video. Let me see how many digits can you write. 10, 20, 50 digits after the decimal place, can you write? 100 digits after the decimal place? Okay, let's say we have a number 10 divided by 3. If you convert this number into decimal form, how many digits will be there after the decimal place? This will be equal to 3.33, or one more 3 will be there. One more 3. How many 3's will come after the decimal place? Actually, these 3's will come on command. Have you checked this after division? How does it happen? Let's divide 10 by 3. 3, 9, 1. You get a decimal over here, 0, 3, 9, 1 remains. Again you can bring in the 0, 3, 9, 1 remains. Again you can bring a 0, 3, 9, 1 remains. So how long can you go like this? How long can you go like this? As long as you feel like. As long as you feel like. So how many 3's are there after the decimal place? We write this just as 3.33 and then leave some dots like this. That means that 3 keeps on coming again and again and again and again and again. So how many digits are there after the decimal place now? How many digits are there after the decimal place now? Infinite number of digits. Because you will have to stop it. The division will go on. It will go on forever. It will go on forever. Somewhere you will have to say, okay, I don't want to divide now. But if you actually keep on doing it, will go on. So you can say there are infinite number of digits after the decimal place. So that's possible. It's possible to have infinite number of digits after the decimal place, isn't it? It is possible to have infinite number of digits after the decimal place. Okay. So now there are decimal numbers of two types. One decimal number has a fixed number of digits after the decimal place. One has infinite number of digits after the decimal place. Two types of decimal numbers. Two types. Fixed number of digits. Infinite number of digits. Fixed number of digits. Infinite number of digits. Both types of numbers can be there, isn't it? Now you can come up with your own examples. We can have so many types of examples. Can we have a number like this? 7.123 and then again 123 and again 123 and again 123 will keep on coming. If that is like that, we please put a small line over the digits that keep on repeating. That line indicates that which 1, 2, 3 keeps on coming again and again and again and again and again. Can we write a number like this? 9.10404040 like that. This 1 is not repeating and then after that 040404 is repeating. So you can put a bar on 04. Some part of the number after the decimal digits are not repeating. Here this 1 is not repeating. I'll just underline it in one. This 1 is not repeating and this yellow part 040404 is repeating forever. Isn't it? We can also have a number 5.1079 and then 3 and this 3 keeps on repeating. We can have a number like this also. Only this 3 is repeating here. Isn't it? There can be whole many types of numbers. So many types of numbers are possible in decimal. You have seen so many types of numbers now. Okay. Now see. For some decimal numbers were terminating. Okay, we are talking about rational numbers because decimal numbers are also rational numbers. Decimal numbers and rational numbers. Are both same or not? Decimal numbers are rational or not? Maybe may not be. Some decimal numbers are rational, some are not. We'll see all those things. Okay, don't worry about decimal numbers are rational or not. Don't worry about that as of now. We'll discuss this a little bit later. We'll just see about decimal numbers. Decimal number can be terminating. It can be like 1.2, 7.5, 3.042. Decimal number terminates somewhere. Okay, you can say there is 0 after this, but existence of 0 does not matter. The number will not change whether there is 0 or not. So this number is terminating at some place. At some place the number terminates. 3.042 complete now. 1.2 that's done now. 0.01 after this is complete now. So such numbers are called terminating numbers. Terminating decimal numbers. Okay. The decimal part of the number terminates at some place. Somewhere it goes and stops. It may have 100 digits, but it has to stop after the 100 digit. It cannot go on forever. And some are non-terminating. Non-terminating means the decimal expansion keeps on going. Like 1 by 3. This will give you 0.3 and this 3 will keep on going forever. 3, 3, 3, 3, so on. Isn't it? If you divide 1 by 7, it will also give a non-terminating number. Isn't it? Any other number? Pi. What is pi? 22 by 7 is not exactly equal to pi. The exact number pi is non-terminating. It keeps on going forward. Keeps on going forward ever. Square root 2. If you find this in the calculator, okay, should I show it in the calculator? I'll show you in the calculator, just wait. Yes, you have the calculator over here. Try to calculate square root 2. See, how many decimal places are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so many are there. And if your calculator is able to display even more digits, you will get even more digits. And try to see this number. Is it repeating at any place? Is this number 414? What's number? 1.414213562373095048880. Is it repeating? No, it's not repeating. It goes. The numbers are changing in some random pattern. You don't know what is the pattern. You cannot figure it out with pattern. Number keeps on coming one after another. Something or some other number keeps on coming. Such kind of numbers are called non-terminating numbers. Okay, non-terminating. Non-terminating means the decimal expansion does not terminate at all. Keeps on going, like square root 2, pi, all these numbers keep on going forever. So we have two types of numbers, terminating and non-terminating. Terminating numbers, they will stop after that, after some digits after the decimal place. I'll just write it. Terminating decimals terminates or ends after a fixed number of digits. Non-terminating does not terminate. Isn't it? We had examples like 3.4 over here, 0.33 over here, and 3 keeps on repeating. So we have two types of numbers. Okay. Now, in the second part, non-terminating numbers. Non-terminating numbers. There were two types of numbers again. One was square root 2, where there was no pattern, and one was 0.3 dot or line 3. A fixed pattern is there. There are two types of terminating decimal numbers. Two types of fixed terminating decimal numbers. Okay. So, such numbers which have a pattern are called recurring. Recurring numbers have a pattern. Non-recurring numbers have no pattern at all. like square root 2. Okay, now can you guess, if there's no pattern, you cannot convert into a decimal number. If there's a pattern, you can convert into a decimal number. 0.3, there was a pattern, you can convert it into decimal. 0.322, if you add 2 is repeating, you can convert it in a decimal number. But if there is no pattern at all, you cannot convert it. You cannot convert if the number has no pattern at all. Okay, and if you cannot convert that number into P by Q form, that means it is an irrational number. So these non-recurring numbers are the irrationals. Okay, see the calculator once again. All the irrationals that you have seen, all of them are non-recurring. Square root 3, is it terminating anywhere? Never. Square root 5, see, do you see a pattern? No pattern, no end also. Isn't it? Now if you add a rational number to an irrational number, we have square root 5 plus 6, let's say. What do you get? 8 point, and again you have a big number, non-ending. Okay? Sum or difference of an irrational number and a rational number will be irrational, as expected. Okay? Okay. Computer ji, please send out the calculator. Yes. Okay, before we come to the theorem, let's see this. How do you convert a recurring decimal into a fraction P by Q? Let's say we have a number 0.3 and this 3 is repeating. This is equal to 1 by 3, everybody knows that. But how do you get 1 by 3 from 0.3? There should be some method. If I don't know 1 by 3 is the answer, how will I get it? There should be a method. That method is, let x is equal to 0.3 and there is a dot over 3. That means that 3 is repeating now. Then what will be 10x? 10x will be 3.3 and then this 3 repeats, isn't it? Now subtract this. 10x minus x will be equal to 3.3, 3 is repeating here, minus 0.3, again 3 is repeating here. What do you get? 3. 9x is equal to 3 because 3 is repeating here also and here also, the 3 will cancel out. So what do you get? X is equal to 3 upon 9, that is equal to 1 by 3. Simple enough. समझ में आ रही बात? That's how you convert a recurring decimal into a fraction. Let's see one more example. This was the simplest example. Let's have one more example. Okay, I'll just write 1 by 3 is equal to 0.3 and this is repeating. Other number, let's take 0.12 is not repeating and then after that 3 is repeating now. So what is this number like? 0.12 and then 3 comes on repeating. This is recurring. There is some pattern. We can figure out the pattern. That is the number now. So let us assume x is equal to 0.123 will repeat now. Isn't it? Now you calculate. You have to get this non-repeating part on the left hand side. How will you get it? Find 100x. You will get 112.3. Now 3 is repeating. Okay. Now you have to get this one also on the left hand side. How will you get? 1000x. That will is equal to 123.3 is repeating again. Now take the difference once again. 1000x minus 100x is equal to 123.3 repeating minus 12.3 repeating. This will give us 111. That is equal to 990x. Sorry, 900x. 900x. This means x is equal to 111 by 900. Okay. You know this process to convert a terminating recurring decimal into a fraction. You remember it? Do you remember it? We have done all these things in the last class. I mean, standard 9th. Now see. What is the denominator here? 3 only. What is the denominator here? 1 by 3 square into 100. Isn't it? 3 square into 100. See the denominator? Okay. Now we have to prove that theorem. You will see that pattern now. See, read the theorem first. If x is let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates, then x can be expressed in the form p by q, where p and q are co-prime, and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n multiplied by 5 to the power m, where n and m are non-negative integers. What does it say? It says that there is a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Let's say 3.5. Decimal expansion terminates. This means x can be written in the form p by q. What will be the p by q form here? 35 divided by 10, where p and q are co-prime. Now here p and q are not co-prime. You have to cancel out now. How will you get co-prime? Cancel out 5, you will get 7 by 2. Okay, p and q are co-prime now. The prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m. 2 to the power n, 5 to the power m. Here, what is the value of n in this case? N is equal to 1, m is equal to 0. 0 can be, yes. It says non-negative integers. Isn't it? M is a non-negative integer. So that can be. Take one more example and see. Tell a rational number. Any rational number. You tell. 7.1. This will give us 71 divided by 100. The numbers are co-prime now. So you can write it 71 divided by 2 square into 5 square. Okay. Now n is equal to 2 and m is also equal to 2. So we'll talk more about this in the next video. Okay, thank you.